Hi, I'm Leslie Meredith with Breakbulk, and today I'm with Paul Parkin, the CEO of HAL Inc. Welcome. So nice of you to give us some time this morning.
Thank you.
So tell us about your business, what you do.
Sure.
You're not a carrier, you're not a logistics provider.
No, we sure aren't. As a matter of fact, we get asked odd questions. People don't seem to read the booth before they ask the question, but we're a software company. As a matter of fact, all of our solutions are hosted in the cloud, and we basically provide software solutions and technologies, if you will, to the industry that allows them to better track their material.
Well, what's amazing to me is you've been in business for some time.
Correct. As a matter of fact, we just made 20 years in business in June.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So you must have seen so much change in the last 2 decades.
Absolutely. Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's kind of funny because a lot of the technologies that have been around for some time, as far as applying them to this industry, it's been hard to quantify the cost. And as of late, because of not just the technologies, but really software companies like ourselves and some of the ones that we're partnering with have really come up with new philosophies on the way to apply those technologies to really show a true return on investment to the companies that are trying to manage their material more fluently, if you will.
So, is one of your benefits that your company provides is its cost saving?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, because of the way that we helped our customers track their materials, and quite frankly, when it comes to the 3PLs, their customers' materials, the return on investment is pretty quickly seen in the fact that they have the ability to better understand what material they have that received into the supply chain, if it is the correct material, right? And then the proper marking technologies to ensure that throughout the supply chain, regardless of who the stakeholder is at the time, that they have the correct material in custody, right? So we have true chain of custody to understand not only who has the material at the time, but then the backup of the pedigree of that material, especially in the energy sector, right? So if that piece of material gets on site and they don't know what it is, well, that's a big problem. You know, years ago we had the benefit of meeting with one of the big energy companies and head of transportation at the time, and he shared with us that they had a situation where they had an item, it was about a $3 million piece of equipment that they had bought as a spare when they first put up the facility. Well, what happened was, sure enough, the production piece did end up going down about 1.5 years into the project. They needed the spare, and they couldn't find it. They had a huge laydown yard with 1,500, 2,000 containers, and they couldn't find it. So after 2 days of looking, they finally gave up, and they did a rush job to order a new one, which cost them 40% more,
Sure.
$3 million, and then to charter an Antonov to fly it over to the place. Obviously, there was those costs there involved. So basically, they got that piece installed. They were down for about 6 days. High production facility. That was a lot of expense lost as well, right?
A lot of money, absolutely.
And then, unfortunately, 2 months later, they found the spare in the yard.
Of course, isn't that the way it always works?
Exactly.
But with your solution, that's not something people need to worry about anymore.
Exactly. We help give them the tools by which to really best manage that chain of custody and control of the materials throughout the supply chain, regardless of the stakeholder. And because we're a software as a service solution, we can help each of those stakeholders get into, if you will, the network, the supply chain, as far as the data is concerned and managing that material in a relatively short period of time. Literally, some facilities we can bring up in a number of days.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Out of our breakbulk sector, which companies can benefit from your business,
Sure,
from your solutions?
Our typical customers are, or traditionally have been the 3PLs themselves, right? Third-party logistics companies, freight forwarders, et cetera, as well as the export packing companies. And as of late, because of some of our new technologies, our vendor portal, we're actually seeing the vendors for some of these bigger EPCs and so forth coming into the network as well. And in addition to that, the EPCs are now becoming our customers because they want to be able to manage the material actually at the construction site. So here we have all this great documentation and tagging of the materials through the supply chain, and traditionally then it gets to the construction site and they're not benefiting from it. Well, that's changing now, and for a real need to have that cost savings and project management on site, to include now all the way back to the vendor. So that way the material getting tagged and properly identified before it ever leaves the vendor, so that way it's in a common methodology, if you will, right, to then go to the next stakeholder, the 3PL, then to the rest of the supply chain, then to the in-site, et cetera. So
that's fantastic. So you can cover it from beginning
exactly
to the end.
From conception to consumption. That's what C2C is.
I love that. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For spending time with us. We
Appreciate
appreciate it.